Turn off the front light.
Oh.
Oh my god. Almost. That is a fat, nice blunt. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Must Be Nice with Kyle Adams and Chad Johnson. That's Kyle Adams. I am Chad Johnson. Hello. Uh, Today we're gonna start off with Kyle fucking hotboxing his car. That's so great. That's, so that one is a lot less limp than the last one you had made over here a
That
few days ago.
was top heavy. I rolled a top heavy joint with a weak crutch. Was
Yeah.
that was
Well,
really
it seemed like
cartoon.
there was a fine crutch, but then there was a little bit of a gap there that just
Yeah,
gave it like yeah, just
I had to stuff it down and just hope for the best.
yeah. No, it was for comedy. It was the most perfect thing to smoke because it seemed like it was smoking just fine, but it was going and then it had like a
It was
85 degree.
literally
It
drooping.
was
It was like drooping down. It was
it
like
was like
smoking like.
almost straight down. It was great. But yeah, you and Justin came down here to get some Infinity Room food.
Yeah, we originally came down just for the donuts, but by the time we got down there, we were really hungry. So we got we both got the Mayor of Broadway, which is like a Monte Cristo sandwich, and then we both had like one of each donut. It was fucking amazing.
Yeah, those donuts are really good. I haven't had much of I had some of this food at the space, but from what
Mhm.
I can tell, they've upgraded the quality of their food so much. And yeah, I haven't had anything other than the donuts there and some of the other like hand food. Hand food,
Yeah,
like
I know what you're
chicken
talking about.
fingers.
Little snackies.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. I'm really excited to come back and do comedy there once the world starts turning again. That'll be nice. I think
Yeah.
it's that they did renovations in the meantime, though. I knew they were going to regardless, but it's awesome to see them moving ahead still. So I'm
Yeah, and
excited.
everything is still like they're just like full speed. They're not stopping anything. They're like Zach's there right now, cooking. And so yeah, they're still fucking rolling. And every time I go in there, I'm just like, holy fuck, because I don't know, a comedy community getting together and going like, okay, and like a music scene community, but like these are the most driven people that are available in this town. So that's kind of what happens when that happens. But when
Mm-hmm.
like I was just thinking about that place today and I was like, I wonder if like I could work there somehow and then everything that I was doing before the way it is now that was there was like, hey, I can totally help you do this or I can help out with that or but everything that they have and do now is so above like I would be a burden like even trying to help it because I was like
Yeah, they
they
just
have
move
like a
too fast.
yeah, well, and like I used to come in there and like help with some of the tech and wiring and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
then the way it is now is so insanely high tech and high quality, like just it's nuts the like the way that they have that place wired up and yeah, when that shit happens, whew, it's going to be really great because yeah, the lighting, I mean, you can still people can look on the Infinity Room Facebook page because there's been a couple shows there. There were some that were comedy and there were a couple that were music shows. And I got to introduce my favorite band there, which was fucking awesome. City of Pieces. It's a Salem-based band, and they're their style it you ever like hear a band and you're like holy fuck, like there it is, that's the because I always wanted a band that's like the mix between kind of like Dead Kennedys, a little bit of the Misfits, but
Mm-hmm.
like as I mean I do like political punk rock. I don't like politics, it's not my thing, uh but it has to be good. And like Anti-Flag is kind of cheese dick to me.
He's big.
Yeah, but like but propaganda, like I think they're great. But both you dude, if you get fucking rolled while just hotboxing your car. Oh man. So
That was my neighbors pulling up. I'm in my driveway at least.
oh that counts, yeah.
Yeah, that would suck though. No, my neighbors come up pretty fast. It's like a weird little driveway where there's like guest parking, and we just take up the guest parking. But
Nice. Dude, check this out. This is how apolitical like this is how stupid I am, I guess you could say. But I attribute this to how apolitical I am. So yesterday, I just put together that Joe Biden was Barack Obama's vice president.
Ah, really?
Yeah,
That's
I mean, like I
funny.
never really thought about it, and
Uh-huh.
because when Obama was there, it really was. It felt like who's his vice president? Who gives a fuck? It's fucking
Yeah, we
Obama.
didn't have
He's
to worry. He was just in the background. I didn't think about, to be honest, I never really thought about him much. I knew the name because I saw the bumper stickers, but with Obama, you could just forget what was happening. Like it was cool. Like he would do something big, like they caught Bin Laden, and then they made gay
yeah,
marriage legal, and then you're like, oh fuck, that's awesome. We have awesome people doing stuff, but we never had to worry about them. Like we know more about Pence because we got to worry about his crazy ass. Like I heard that I heard that Pence thinks that God sent him to Earth to become president. Like
so
he thinks that he's like preordained to be the best president that America's ever had or something. He's fucking nuts. A crazy person.
so I think anybody that spouts off that kind of stuff is just nutty. Like I religion bugs me. That's the nicest way I'll ever put it. Like it bugs me.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a little silly.
but do you think like what do you think the ratio is of a politician saying something like that, saying, "I believe God sent me here to America, to be to be whatever in position of something." Do you think that's something that's like the data has proven that that kind of sentence spoken in front of a bunch of people will get
Oh,
people
you mean
like
like that for his demographic that he's trying to reach or his base. I
yeah,
definitely think that has a lot to do with it. So that is true. Like I don't know how much of his own bullshit he believes. That's a good point because
it's
his
like
base is like televangelists. They're all like
yeah,
evangelical Christians and stuff. So they want to hear crazy shit like that, and that's not a completely baseless thing to say in their circle. Like
yeah, exactly.
believe
Like
some of
that's not even yeah, that's right. That's not even that abnormal of a thing.
that.
Like I believe God sent me here to bring this baked apple pie to services today, and you know it's
They convince people all the time that God wants them to send them like $1,000 a month, to
yeah.
keep their TV show on. No, that's
Uh,
that's crazy.
yeah, that's like I there's been a lot of kind of conspiracies that I hear about things and then I go, that sounds weird. And then I kind of like I get into like celebrity public conspiracies, which are the most fun, and especially when people die in a certain way, you can't really disprove it, I guess. Like
Mhm.
um, like Philip Seymour Hoffman and Heath Ledger, and even going back to like Jimi Hendrix. There's like
Yeah.
things kind of around those people that are like, well, it's like, I wonder if there's a part where, because like I was listening to Kevin Hart in an interview, and he's like, you get to be more Kevin Hart, yeah, that's his name. You get to be more famous, and then you get to see behind more and more curtains of how like, oh, this is actually how shit goes. And I wonder if there's certain people that went like, this and went like, oh, that's not what I wanted to see. Okay, this isn't
Hmm.
for me, and then they have to like, overdose or something like that. I don't know. They're like, how long, was Ellen Page gay and then her publicity people are probably like, hey, just keep that chill for a little bit, just keep it chill. And then she does a couple movies, X-Men and whatever. X-Men was actually after that, but there's like she went to like a couple video game things, and then it felt like her.
She did the PlayStation game, and then it's funny because she was doing that because she was trying to be true to herself, and then someone hacked it so her boobs were in it. Did you hear about that?
No.
It's like, that's so fucked up. It's so fucked up. She's like, well, really, I'm gay, and I'm just trying to like live my own life. I'm not getting the roles I used to get. They're like titties.
I mean, that's
really fucked up. She ended up suing them because someone had like made her like anatomically correct and everything, and she didn't have she has a anti-nudity thing in her clause.
At least she used to. Not that I would know.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I feel like a lot of people aren't allowed to, like, they said that everything with Caitlyn Jenner, that shit was going on like 10 years, 20 years before anyone knew about it. Like there were jokes about it on Family Guy and stuff before it even happened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Yeah. Or just like, yeah, there's a bunch of different ones that you wonder kind of like, I mean, I guess it's just a matter of the public being accepting of gay people when it comes to like like Ellen Page or Jane Lynch, because it's like Jane Lynch was one of the funny ones because it's like I was like, well, I'm gay, and everybody's like, yeah.
Everybody's like, we kind of got that vibe.
And yeah, it's. I mean, like, I wonder if. Oh, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool. I wonder if there are people. I don't know. I guess probably because I don't know. I never really think about that. Like, I wonder if there are people that are just kind of like, hey, put the gay thing on hold for a little while, and we got you a 5-year plan here. Like it's like a contractual package or something like that.
So you have to reach
this is where I
before you can be yourself. That's yeah. I mean, I think that probably exists. They're like, let's not be you out the gate. That's so fucked, but it's true, man. That's probably, it makes it more palatable. It's just, damn. I hate that people have to hide.
Yeah. Has there been any like what celebrities? Because comedy doesn't seem like a place where you have to really hide. Like a lot of people do, because like that. But that's my knee jerk reaction is the people that do hide who they are, the people that get into comedy to get laid, and so then it's kind of like, okay, well, that's fine. You're like in a separate thing. Prop comedy, regular comedy, get laid comedy.
Dude, what kind of props do you have to get laid doing prop comedy? Like,
I think there's just one. I think there's one guy who figured it out, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just going to be the best." And then anybody who
Carrot Top had to get buff, and I'm sure he gets laid now, but Carrot Top had to get buff.
Yeah. Yeah,
and he's like the king. He's like the king of prop comedy.
Yeah. There's not, I mean, like a one-liner comic can, you say like you're a one-liner comic and people are like, oh, there's Mitch Hedberg, there's, you can get compared to people right off the bat, but there's like a handful of them. But if you're a prop comic, then yeah, that's the only one that it really.
That's the only one I can think of. I mean, maybe like the Amazing Jonathan, but he was a music or a magician, so that's kind of hard to.
Yeah, that is it's kind of right in between.
I feel like the Amazing Jonathan is like you either know him because you're a comic or because you're kind of on the spectrum and you really like magic.
Yeah.
like those are the
two.
It
was definitely like sitting at home after school watching Comedy Central Presents, and
Oh yeah.
then there'd just be a random swath of them, and then it's I didn't care. I didn't When I was that age, I didn't give a shit if comedy was good or bad. It was just new comedy, and I was like, cool, more of it.
I was the same way. I watched a lot of stand up that like I go back to it now and I'm like, I don't know why I thought that was funny as a kid. Like
Dude,
I just
yeah.
enjoyed it because it was adult and I wasn't supposed to be watching it. I think that's what it was provocative because of that.
Have you ever gone back, or like been talking to someone, and you're like, oh, I remember this bit from a long time ago. It's one of the best bits ever. But and then you go back to it and you watch it like with the person, and you're like, oh, okay, never mind. I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I used to think comedy was like this. I've done that a few times. I
I've
recommended.
done that recently with like a Stanhope bit. I'm like, and it was only like 4 years ago. I thought it was like the best thing ever. I'm like, oh, that's a little shitty. I don't really stand by what he said 4 years ago anymore. Like,
Yeah. There's been
because I
times where
felt,
I'm watching him and I'm just so amped that I'm watching new Stanhope. And I'm like, yeah. And then I watched it again. I'm like, I disagree with about half of this, but
yeah,
I don't really, yeah, you got to just throw that away. But yeah, I don't stand by a lot of the things he says, but I'm happy that there is a person that does it.
yeah, no, and I saw him about 3 years. It got 3 years ago now, and it was awesome. But like some of his jokes, I was like, dude, if you were an open micer,
Yeah.
like, I bet you could. I bet he's to an extent where he's only like really famous to like comics. I bet he could go to like a safe space open mic in Portland and like not even a safe space because you know what I mean, but like a more politically correct open mic, and he would get like booed, like
Yeah.
even if it was like a well crafted joke because they all are that he does is pretty well crafted. But he had a really fucked up joke, and I can't even remember exactly what it was, but it was like it had to do with rape, and it was also kind of racist, but it was like, how did you do that? Like, and it was basically like he posed the question that like either in one direction you would be a rape apologist and then the other direction you would be a racist, so he like you were fucked either way with
Yeah.
the two threads of logic that he presented. Like it was really funny though. um
Yeah. He's great at making something terrible hilarious. Did you read what's that book about his mom?
yeah, oh yeah, I have that book,
Yeah.
Digging Up Mother, a Love Story.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
really fucking good.
I want to get his road book as well, his book about road stories for sure.
Mm.
um I want that. I love his book. I relate to him really hard. Obviously, he had a. It wasn't even a bit, but when I saw him, he had like a mini rant about how you should be able to make fun of anything terrible that's happened to you, and I just obviously relate to that. And
Yeah.
I was like tearing up. I was like, this is amazing. Like watching the one of the comics I looked up to, like basically legitimizing what I've been trying to do as
Right.
well. Um, Dylan Jenkins got to open for him. That was really cool. We saw him at it was at
Oh
Star
my
Theater.
God.
Yeah, Star Theater in 2017. I went with a couple of other comics. It was a really good time. And we got to talk to him for a little bit afterwards, but he was babysitting Andy Andrist, who was hammered.
Yep.
So yeah, we were gonna go hang out. And I'm sure you know, and we were gonna go hang out with him, but Andrus was too drunk to get served anywhere. And Andrus kept poking fun at me and Jenkins, talking like, and Bigsby was there too, and he's just like, "Oh, Portland comedy has a weight issue, huh?"
It really is like a convenient grouping of the three big guys. I
I
guess they're
know. I'm like, "Fuck you." We're like three of the chubby dudes. Like, you can go fuck yourself, Andrus.
yeah.
You're hammered. Uh, I I remember there was a thing going on like a year later, and Stanhope was gonna come to an open mic in Portland, but then there was a thing like him and Dustin Brandon were going back and forth,
Oh yeah.
and I chimed in. I
Fucking
was like,
dork.
Yeah, dude, he does a lot of stuff for Black Lives Matter now, so I think he's a cool dude
Oh yeah,
now.
no, I love that guy.
Yeah,
I
but
swear every time I'm in Portland, he just rolls up and he's like, "Hey, you want some weed?" And I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" And then we just hang out for the next couple hours.
he's a great dude. But yeah, at first that he did not. I get what he was trying to do now, but anyways, in the middle of all of that, I messaged Stanhope on Twitter. I was like, hey. I was like, come to High Dive, please, man. It's actually a really fun mic, and we'd all love to see you. And I'll buy you a shot and a beer if you come out. But I am not buying Andrus shit because he called me fat last time I saw him. And Andrus was the only one who liked it. And I was like, you bastard.
Oh, that's funny. He we got to stay in, what was that? The Undertow Comedy Festival.
Uh-huh.
There was this huge fucking house that we got to stay in that was like Amanda, Arnold, me, Emma, Wilfred Padua.
Oh
If you
yeah,
know,
Wolf is hilarious.
yeah, he's awesome. A couple other people, but Andrist was also there, and he had his dog, and it was great.
Yeah.
He didn't
No,
seem he did,
he's a great dude. He's a
yeah.
jackass.
Oh yeah, he. There was one time when everybody was just in the hot tub out back. Oh yeah,
Hmm.
Posy was there too,
I
and
heard Posse was in the hot tub for like 5 hours, and it just became like a soup, like a
yep,
Posse soup. Yeah,
yeah. It was. I mean, well, okay. So, that's funny that it got blamed on Posse. So it was like the night before we left in the morning, everybody went in. It was like Ben Harkins, Wendy Weiss, Posse, me, Emma, uh, Dash Thompson, who claims to not have been at. Dash Thompson was there.
yeah.
that motherfucker. Yeah, I've heard him be like, I wasn't around any of that craziness. And be like, fuck you,
Yeah.
you were there. But Nariko, but everybody was in the fucking hot tub. It was like it was enough to where everybody was sitting on like the outside and barely in it, and like barely anybody was in it, but everybody was getting shit faced drunk and
Mm-hmm.
etc. And so we were up all night, and so then we go take a 2 hour nap or whatever, and then we get up because we gotta go. It's time to leave the whole place. Everybody packs up, and then we just walk through to like make sure we got all the cans and shit, and then we just look at the hot tub, and yeah, it's fucking green. It's like you can't see from like the top corner of it to like the vent on the other side. You can't see through the whole thing, and it was just like everybody was just standing around it smoking cigarettes that morning going like, that's fucking disgusting, just fucking gross, dude. But
Oh
that's funny
man.
that I got blamed on Posse.
Yeah. Someone told me like it's like there's some Posse soup. I wasn't. I wish I would have been there. I heard nothing but good times. Like it's just. Oh my god.
It was great, and I got to meet some people that I am like, hey, you're fucking awesome. I had like one little quick like ooh celebrity moment, which was kind of nice, and then I got to lose absolute respect for some professional comedians. So it was like a whole thing. It was great.
Lori or is it Lori Kilmartin? Is that the one?
No, I actually didn't see her at all, but Emma said she was great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Who else
and
is there?
I've heard her in interviews, and yeah, she's fucking hilarious. She's hardcore. I love it.
Lori Kilmartin, and who else was there?
Funches
The
gave me a shout out because he was like, so yeah, Funches was on stage at the like main big thing, and it was really cool. And I was doing the door stuff. So and then once I was done with that, I was just kind of watching the show from the back, and then I saw that he finished his water, and then he went back for it, and
Mhm.
then he just kind of like reached for it and was like, oh, and then went back on his thing, and then so I ran and got him a water, and then I handed it up to him, and he goes, why, thank you, Drink Fairy, and that made me feel great.
Drink Fairy.
Yeah, that's
That's great. That's really good. I
and
love Funches. He's awesome.
dude, he's so great. I saw him when he lived in Salem. Like he was doing the Liberty Tax uh, Statue of Liberty,
Mm-hmm.
and he was dancing on the side of the road, and it was awesome. And so I was delivering pizza at the time, and or no, I worked at GameStop, and so he was on the corner right next to the GameStop that I worked at, so I'd see him all the time, and I'm like, dude, a fat black dude in a Liberty or a Statue of Liberty outfit dancing, and it's the best thing. I love it, and he seems so fucking happy. So one time, I was listening to NPR, and it just so happened that like they were talking about comedy, and they're like, oh, and then they said, oh, we have Ron Funches from Portland, and then he comes in, he's like, actually, I'm from Salem, and then I was like, oh shit, Salem. So anyway, I was listening to that, and he goes, he just was talking about like the open mics that he does, and he's fucking on NPR, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And so then a little bit later, I saw him and was like, "Hey, dude, I heard you on NPR. That's awesome." And he's like, "Yeah, come to the coffee house and come watch the shows I do there." And that was the last thing I ever saw of him because I didn't go to the shows, but I was like, "Yeah, cool, rad, man."
Uh-huh.
But then I brought him a drink, and he was come and drink, Barry.
Now you're a mythical creature.
Yeah, got to hang out with. You ever hung out with Ron Lynch?
Mm, I've seen him around, and I've watched him at a few of the shows. I never really got to hang with him, but I saw him at Kelly's Olympian and a couple other places.
Yeah, he's that's a guy. He's like very welcoming with his company, and he'll like pull out weed and be like, "Let's all smoke a joint," and then
Nice.
yeah, he's like he's always on, which is really fun.
That's cool.
I like it when I like it. Yeah, I got to. So oh yeah, so I was working as a volunteer for the whole festival,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's how I got to meet him, is because I was the person behind. He did a stand-up show, and I was behind like a bamboo retaining wall or whatever on stage, and I was doing all of his sound cues on his phone. So I was holding his phone, and that was kind of fun because I saw all these like messages come in, and he's like, "Just don't worry about any of that shit."
The dick pic, dick pic, dick pic.
No, it was a lot of money shit, like money coming in and going out, like automatic going out and coming in shit, and I was like,
It's just business stuff. Yeah.
yeah, dude, you've got flows of money happening on at all times. He's just like, yeah, just don't worry about that shit. Cool, neat.
That's the dream, baby.
Yeah, it's
Keep that Venmo ticking.
yeah. Oh, you're gonna be on Truth or Dare, right?
Yeah, I'm excited. I love Truth or Dare. That's such a fun show.
Dude,
This is
it's
my
really fun.
I think it's my third time doing it now.
Nice. Yeah, the last two have been really good, gone really smooth, and yeah, they're fun. I
I
do
need to write out a new set. That's what I'm gonna do.
the fun thing about it is everybody's kind of just settling into the fact that they're not actually on a stage.
Mm-hmm.
So like Zach was doing a couple things, but he was just kind of grabbing things around him and like being funny with whatever he was, what was kind of around. And I've seen people just give
Are
a
you saying Zach's gonna be the one to get laid being a prop comic?
yeah.
He's gonna break through that. He's gonna break through that wall.
Yeah, one of the things he had to do was he had to play with his Legos, and he has a Krusty the Clown and a spider, and he had to make them fight. So I mean, I don't know if that's gonna get him laid, but
Dude, there's a lady out there who digs that.
yeah,
He's just got such an imagination. I just love his imagination.
yeah. It was a funny because he has like a lot of Simpsons ones and like a bunch of regular Legos, but he picked the giant spider to fight it, which was a good idea.
That sounds like an epic battle.
Yeah.
No, I'm excited for that. I got to think of a good truth. I remember the last two. The first one I did was my truth was the first time I ever bombed on stage. I sang the Celine Dion Titanic song at a talent show in 4th grade.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
I mean, good
I
song.
really,
I get it.
I was really into My Heart Will Go On, and I really liked the Titanic movie. And
So
I decided,
fully in earnest, right?
oh, fully in earnest, not even being a dickhead or trying to be funny. I, uh, I legitimately like that song, and nobody stopped me or criticized me about it until that night, and I had like parents calling me gay. like, like like I got booed by people's parents when I was a kid. Like,
Oh, that's so great.
yeah. And then oh god, my second one's a little graphic though. The second truth was pretty bad. My my truth was that I had an ex girlfriend Rafiki me.
Hold on, let me try to figure out what that is. It's
Okay,
it's
you
where
Rafiki.
I got to figure out what kind of substance it is because I'm
Oh
pretty
no.
sure something goes on your forehead, right?
Yes,
Okay,
it's
it's
something
either
goes on my
gonna be
forehead.
gonna be shit. Her thumb goes in your ass, and then she wipes her or period blood.
It yeah. Think of the color that it was in the
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, yeah. Okay,
It's here. Yeah. She fucking wiped period blood on my forehead,
that's a
and
fucking
I
champion
had to
move.
explain. I feel like she put a spell on me. I think that's what it was. I think it was a hex. Um, I I had to explain to the audience what it was too, which was funny. And I think also since my handwriting is terrible, Emma was reading it and she's like, I had an ex girlfriend, Rafeka, Rafika. No. But yeah, I gotta come up with I gotta top that. I gotta top those two. So we'll see.
I hope that's like a notch in her belt. Like she tells her friends, like,
Just
no,
thought
there
it
was
was
this,
a power move.
yeah, there was this one dude I banged that I fucking rubbed period blood. I Rafiki'd him, and then her friends like, Rafiki'd? What's that mean? And she's like, I fucking wiped my pussy blood on his face. Oh,
It was
I like it.
I,
I
I'm not really a guy that gets grossed out by that stuff, but that one was kind of gross. I will say that. I was like, not on my face, please.
yeah, I'm okay with anything but poop. I don't fucking I don't like poop. I don't like. I mean, we're not supposed to like the smell and taste and appearance of it. I think that's like in our DNA.
I was thinking today, I don't know why, but I was just thinking the grossest thing and like the pettiest thing you could do to someone is like poop in their microwave and then hit 10 minutes and then leave and never come back. like, like how bad would that smell? Like cooked poop. I just
That'd be a
some
settled in smell too.
that's something I was thinking of. I don't know why that thought crossed my mind today, but just I was like, has anyone ever done that? That's what I was thinking. I was like, has anyone ever pooped in a microwave? Like that's what kind of a goodbye would that be? Like an Irish goodbye, like a Russian goodbye, like it's like a
No,
Hungarian
that's a
goodbye.
yeah. It's a German goodbye.
No, Scheiße.
Yeah.
It's a
Um,
Scheiße bye.
my grandpa had dementia, and and
Ooh.
he
Oh,
just
you
shit on
see
the
the smoke?
floor.
Oh.
Oh yeah, no, it is hot boxed in there.
Look at
Oh my
this.
god! Oh my god!
Oh, he shit on the floor.
Yeah. One time I just like walked into his room because he lived with us because he had, brain goops.
Oh,
And
brain goofs.
yeah, he's all fucked up. Dude, he would like wander around the neighborhood, just look, he'd in his underwear and socks, and he'd be like asking neighbors where his cat was that he hasn't had in a while and stuff like that. But yeah, one time he
Funny.
two different things put into from the one thing. He also one time put a can of chili in the microwave and just fucking put a can of chili in the microwave and put it on like 5 minutes or something. And it blew the fuck up. We had to get a new because it was a microwave that was a built-in above the stove into
Oh
the
no.
cabinets microwave. Yeah, yeah, but that's fun. Love it. a lot of lessons from that guy just because I got left with a so it was just I think it was just before he got like his license taken away and all sorts of like people started getting it. They're like, "Oh, he's he's fucked up." But like so there was a lot of things that happened in a short amount of time with his like legal stuff and people taking advantage of all that whatever. But
Mhm.
there were times where it was I just got left with him. And so then I'd be like, "Hey, drive me to the video game store and I'm gonna need you to buy me a couple video games." And he'd be like, "All right, we're going." Because there's just you could tell that he wasn't quite there. And
Uh-huh.
I don't know, I might as well. And so yeah, we'd go get ice cream, video games, but he'd start driving down the wrong like a wrong way on a one way and shit like that. And I'd be like, "Oh, you can't go
No.
this way." But when you're young, you're not like, "Oh fuck," especially when you're driving around like slowly in a in town. That's yeah.
Yeah. I remember riding in the car with it was a family friend's mom, and she must have been pushing 80, and she wasn't all together anyways. It wasn't even the age, because like my grandma's 85 and she's sharp as a fucking tack still. Like she's really with it
Nice.
still. But this I mean, she's a little bit slower paced than she was 10 years ago, but obviously. Um anyways, this 80-year-old lady that used to watch me after school sometimes, she fucking took out a mirror on my side one time when we were driving. That was fucking scary. And
Oops. All right.
I think I would have been a better driver, honestly, man. She hit so many curbs. Like she was missing like part of her rocker panels on the bottom. She had like a Honda. Like she was driving like her granddaughter's car, and she had like a Honda that was kind of dropped down a bit. So she would like hit everything. Dude, it was ridiculous. Oh man. That I feared for my safety those days.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I don't know. I was just allowed to do and it was fine. Just I don't know. I go back
Did you
and
ever
forth
ride
of
in a
like
car like you ever ride in a car that had like 12 people in it, but it was only meant for like four people?
yeah, plenty of times, like especially in high school, and we would not be careful because we
Mm-hmm.
were like we go to like Lincoln City and we go drive up and down the
You'd pile in and then drive like two
oh yeah
hours.
oh no we would
Oh
we'd
no.
fit a couple people in the trunk and like we'd have like
God.
we'd have the seats kind of cracked like because you could crack the middle thing and then
Oh,
there was just
I
that
know.
cracked. Yeah, so they're just kind of hanging out and they're you know yeah, that was even before people were playing games on their phone. So they were
Yeah,
just fucking chilling.
that's funny.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I remember we went to like IHOP after High Dive one time, and we all piled into a Mandolin Deal's car, and we had somebody in the back. I think it was Tiffany was in the back, and we kept calling her Trunk Lady. Like every time she'd chime in, we're like, "Hey, where are we going to eat?" We all like IHOP. What do you think, Trunk Lady? Like it was kind of funny because she was like, she's just like yelling between the gap in the seats. Like, that was a
Did
good
you
time.
ever
But that was
see
like, oh, go ahead.
did you ever see Amanda Lynn Deal's van when she first got to Oregon?
Oh yeah, I've rode in the van. The van was sick. I love
Oh,
that thing.
cool.
We hotboxed it one time. It was really nice.
Oh, hell yeah. That's rad.
Yeah, yeah. We used to ride around in that after midnight, Mike. That was cool. Back in the days.
Hell yeah. Who's the your favorite comic you've gotten to open for?
Oh man. Um. Well, I've only opened for one. Well, actually, no. I have opened for two professional comics. I'd say like that. I got so early on. I got to open for Wiley Roberts, who he used to write for Mad TV. He wrote like the second season of Mad TV, and
Oh
he
wow.
was really funny. I also opened for Ahmed Ahmed, which was awesome in its own way too. But I'm trying to think like like comics who were like years beyond me that I got to open for. Yeah, Wiley Roberts was cool. It was at Mac Club in McMinnville, and that was really fun.
Oh, I know that place. Yeah.
Yeah, I learned a lot from him. That was my first time at the Mac Club. I was there with Dahlia as well. Dahlia was at that show, and
Nice.
yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've only had good experiences there. I was there on Brody Kelly got me a show there once, twice.
oh, nice.
But yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
like that venue.
it's a really good crowd, and they're so appreciative. It's
Oh yeah,
like 'cause they're always like, "Thank you," and you're like, "Oh yeah, it's no big deal. It's really no big deal." And they're like, "No, it really is." And you're like, "Okay, fine," but
yeah. Like thank you.
yeah, it's really. Do you ever get that? Like people are like, "Thank you for doing comedy," and you're like,
I was
what are you
gonna do
hiding?
it anyway.
Yeah, what are you fucking? I don't trust it.
we we had that situation at Cap City one time at a show, and it was funny. I was on it with my dad back when my dad was doing comedy, and there were people there that wanted to take pictures with him and stuff afterwards. It was really, and I think that's like he got so excited about that and felt so good about himself that he never did comedy again. He's like, I got it, I did it. Like, it was
Your
really funny.
dad did comedy at Cap City?
Yeah, it was Belinda Giles was hosting a
Oh,
show
hell
out
yeah,
there.
she's great.
Yeah. And he he had a really good set. Like he really did. Like cuz he had been working on material for a while, but he would always go up you know, at like Curious in Alberta, and he's a 60-year-old man, you know, a 60-year-old white man, so it's like a lot of eye rolls before he even gets to the stage. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I get it. I definitely get it. You know, I've lived with the guy before. I understand. but no, he had a really good set in Salem, and he had a lot of fun. And yeah, these people like wanted to take pictures with him and stuff afterwards, and he just got a huge kick out of that. And that was one of those times too. Like they treated me similar, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like,
Yeah. I
like
think
thanks, guys.
maybe it's because I feel like I'm scamming people when I've ever made money on comedy.
Oh
That
yeah,
I distrust when people are like, "Thank you, good job." I'm like, "Fuck you. What do you mean?"
that's why it's so hard to like negotiate prices and stuff like when you
Yeah.
start selling yourself. I don't know how to sell myself. I don't know how to like because I'm not consistent yet. That's the thing. Like if I was maybe if I was a little more consistent, I would feel more comfortable with that. But I feel like with my style and my like at least when I'm being repetitive and I got the good repetition down and I'm going up every night, I'm consistent. But
Hmm.
like I couldn't be like right now be like, "Oh, I'm worth 20 minutes of my time is worth $50 or something." You know what I mean? Like I can't
Yeah.
I I've definitely gotten paid before when I felt like I didn't deserve it. Like I did I used to do the Mississippi Pizza show all the time, and I
Dope.
honestly to this day I feel like the only reason I got booked for it the amount of times I did is because I'm friends with the people who host it. Because I was like I know I'm a decent comic, but I've only ever had one good set there. And they keep giving me more they kept giving me more opportunities, which I'm not complaining about, but I always feel
Right.
like I squandered them. Like I tried my best, but that room was really hard. And I remember the first time I bombed there, I bombed really hard and I didn't want to get paid. I almost gave the money back because
Oh wow.
it was like $25, and I was like, dude, I fucking ate a dick up there. Like it was bad. And basically the host was like, just he's like, you earned it. You bombed. You earned it. Still is the way they put it. I was like, all right,
It's a fun place.
yeah,
I like it there. I maybe I'll just never go back because I did do one show there and it went really well.
nice.
So maybe I'll just never do it again.
I've done it like 5 times, and I feel like the first time I did really well, but I went kind of early because I thought the host was giving me the light, and I cut my set by 2 minutes. But
Oh
at
wow.
least it was a great set across the board. It was like at the height of my like confidence, and back in like I think it was like 2017, like back where I was like really, really like the height of my comedy confidence at least.
When it
Um,
almost is at a point where it almost is better to go a little bit short than a little bit long, because you might get to a point where you're like, all right, finish it up. But
yeah, exactly.
if you, yeah, if you keep it tight and but it's short, that's better. I
Yeah,
get it.
it's true. I always like to go out with like I'd rather have a shorter set than a longer set with a lull in the end. A lull in the end feels the worst. You're just like, well, fuck it. Like, what's
Hmm.
the fucking point?
Well,
Um,
you also have the ability to tell the same joke multiple times and not seem like you've done it before. That's something that like I can still get hit emotionally with your SpongeBob mom joke, and I've heard it. Like I've heard it at least 5 times,
yeah,
and it's still like effective, and you still deliver it. Like I've never seen you be lazy about that, and that's probably because it's important to you. That makes sense, I guess.
it is. Yeah, no, I appreciate that because I a lot of this stuff I feel like I can't drum up the passion for. You know,
Right.
it's kind of tough for me. I don't know. I'm kind of hitting a roadblock right now with comedy, obviously because of the pandemic. But I'm
Yeah.
starting to like look back. I don't know. Maybe just because I haven't been doing it so much, I'm really doubting myself, and I'm like thinking I should throw out a lot of material right now and just start fresh.
I kind of did that recently because I was looking over some old stuff, and then I was like, what'll happen if I just pretend that this entire collection of everything I've done, because
Doesn't
I write down on notebooks and note cards, and then I just put them. I can't throw it away. Like even if it's a note card of bullet points that I used one night, there's a date and bullet points on it, and that's all that's on there. And then if I need to, I can cross reference it and figure out how that went well, whatever. But I just kind of put everything away, which is fucked up because it's I put it away in a drawer in my daughter's room. So if she ever goes through that, she'll be like, "What the fuck?"
what?
Oh shit, that's a bad idea. Never mind. Okay, so
Gluten-free
uh
psilocybin.
but yeah, so I just started going like, well, what would happen if I just never, addressed any of this shit? And I wrote a few things, but then I started going like, oh yeah, there was that one thing that kind of the things that worked well and that actually stuck out like with importance like that um came back without any like need to have a reference, because I my uh memory is real bad. It's real bad. So I have to keep stuff going way more than your average fella to
Mhm.
remember things a lot. Uh-oh. I just talked about my grandpa having dementia, and then I'm like, I can't remember shit ever. But
No.
I do smoke a lot of weed though, so I'll attribute that to that for now. I have
That's what I
adult
love about
mom.
weed is like you could just be like, no, it's the weed. Like no matter what is going on with you. It's
Yeah.
been uh it's been kind of interesting during the pandemic though. Like that's kind of I was like, I might not know. Wee.
Yeah.
It's kind of like setting a bunch of alarms on your phone right before you have to walk through a minefield. Like just like your phone's buzzing.
Yeah, and like I don't know. I've done mushrooms a couple times since this, and there was a good, I don't know, like 4 hour period where I completely forgot that any of this shit was going on, because I was just
Oh, that's
outside on
wonderful.
bikes and like by the water and just going to the park and hanging out. And then it was just so weird because I was goofed out to like come back and go like, oh yeah, it like really was like you were in a dream, and it's really cool. And then you come back and you go, oh yeah, I can't fucking fly. God damn it.
Yeah, that sounds really nice. I took some acid um at the kind of the beginning and went to the beach and I watched a documentary about fucking bird mating calls. I had a friend come over and we watched. we tripped together and we watched this video about like how birds have mating calls and shit, and they were doing all these crazy dances and stuff, and it
I
was
feel
it
like,
was nuts.
those
They'll
ones are
do like these
awesome.
weird like they do these like weird flaps like
Yeah. So
that was
is
really
that
cool.
is that the equivalent of like you know, some guys strut, or like the way that a lady would bend over and maybe look over her shoulder with her ass pointed at you, going like, "Huh?
Oh
Oh shit."
god.
Is that the same, or is it
It's
like
gotta be. It's gotta
because
be the
it's usually
same
the
thing.
male bird, isn't it? Actually,
Oh, it's always the male bird, and it's funny because
yeah,
the female bird is always kind of like, I wouldn't say ugly. I'm not
simple.
ranking birds. I'm not ranking birds on their sexiness, but yeah, it's like if humans were more like birds, all the dudes would be walking around in like pimp outfits with like
Yeah,
feathers and everywhere, and then all the women would just be wearing brown paper bags
like
because that's all,
jumpsuits.
yeah, like brown jumpsuits, like because all the female birds look similar to the male birds, but they're all like brown and just kind of like small
Yeah,
and roundish and like
like a mallard duck. Like,
yeah. And I don't understand why more birds aren't gay because like the male birds are obviously the more attractive. Like you think they just
yeah.
be fucking each other? I don't know. I'm I, I'm pro gay birds. That's all I gotta say.
What is it? What's the ornithology?
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
birds. Or is that bird
ho-
watching?
home home homo ornithology.
Yeah.
Oh man, they gotta be gay. They what like I don't know. I just like the idea of it's like I'm not fucking that brown bird. Like, look at him. He's got like
Yeah. It's like, why would I be?
got
That's
polka
why would I
dot.
be
He's got
attracted
polka
to?
dot and feathers. And look at that dance. She's not
Yeah.
dancing.
Look at what happens when she puts her tail out, and now look at his tail. Look at that. Yeah, I get it. Fucking yeah, gay birds, dude. Hell yeah! Remember the eagle we saw? Those things
Oh,
sound
that
gay.
was rad. I
Hey,
told like three
hey.
people I saw an eagle. I was like, fuck, that was cool. And he was
Yeah,
like chasing a seagull around. That was pretty cool.
I think it's because the seagull sounds more like scary than the eagle does.
It really does. The eagle just kind of well, they're like silent predators. They just kind of sneak up on your ass, right?
Mhm. I guess so. Yeah, they have the same sound of Sam Fisher when he turns on his night vision.
Mhm. That's right. Oh man, bald eagles always just look like old dudes to me. I
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get
just
a
I think of an old dude.
I'm gonna get a pet bald eagle.
That's
See how that
hey,
goes.
good luck. Yeah, good luck with
I'm
that.
gonna I'm gonna put it in a cage and keep the cage out front of my
I
house.
don't even think that I don't even think the president of the United States is allowed to keep a bald eagle.
I don't
He
think
seems
so.
like the one. He seems like the one person that should have one.
Man, I have a bald eagle. I wanna be like that guy who was in, what was it, Ohio?
Hmm.
That he's like, I'm gonna get all these animals and then I'm gonna let them go and I'm gonna kill myself.
Oh damn!
Did you know about that? Okay, yeah, no, that's
No.
fucking it's the coolest thing that's ever. It's like super villain shit. It's so awesome because it's like he's not trying to guy who, hold on, let animals, there it is, guy who let animals loose. Terry Thompson, like
He
his
sounds like a
name
super
matters.
villain.
Yeah,
Very
has
fun.
Terry. Yeah, so he let he illegally, I believe, yeah, no, that's, I think, owned 56 in like wild animals like lions and tigers and uh grizzly bears, leopards, monkeys, fucking wolves. So he
He
let
could have just
out,
lived in Florida and done that legally.
yeah. So he let out all of the shit. He let it all loose,
Hmm.
and then he killed himself.
So he's like a shitty Noah. He's like
It,
he's like an
yeah,
unmotivated Noah.
he's like, yeah, if Noah and like the Joker were kind of, working together, he's like, oh yeah, it's gonna get crazy, and then he kills
That's
himself.
fucking that's fucking nuts. That's almost like a ticking time bomb of.
Yeah,
So where does he live? Is he in the middle of a city? Is he in a rural area?
it was Ohio guy who, um, yeah, Ohio. Where is it? So the thing that I was thinking about, so deputies or deputy sheriff's deputies shot
Deputies
they shot nearly 50 wild animals.
that he had.
Yeah, so they had to go kill them because they were just loose. So sad, pour one out for the animals. That's sad, super sad. I hate it. But at the same time, you're working your job as the deputy, and you're just like, oh, I gotta fucking pull this guy over. And then you get a call on your thing, you're like, what? And then the guy's like, okay, we gotta go by the station, pick up all the guns, and come out to this fucking farm in
We're
Columbus
going lemur hunting.
because we're gonna go kill a bunch of fucking endangered animals. And just dude, imagine that, like, ooh. Imagine like the phone call for that is like so exciting. It's just sad, and you don't want to do it. But if you're a cop and it's your civic duty to fucking, what do you think do you think they wore bulletproof vests? Do you think they went like, okay, fucking strap
They
it up,
definitely had. Dude, I'd have a riot shield if I were them for sure. I mean,
dude? Okay,
because lemurs can leap. You got to be like protect
yeah,
your above as well. Like you got to create a roof like a phalanx, like the Greeks. Like
yeah, yeah, exactly.
the lemur phalanx. Everyone knows about
Yeah, I've seen 300.
that. That's exactly
uh
where I got that from.
uh yeah. But yeah, that guy right there, he's one of my favorite like real villains.
That's really
Uh,
fucking cool. Terry
I don't,
Thompson,
yeah,
interesting way to die. Very nice.
I don't
But
think,
he should have kept himself alive for a little while to at least enjoy some of it,
yeah,
right?
fucking
Like,
ride around on a yak or something, just like woo.
ah! And then that'd be and just claim that you're like the lord of the beasts or something. Like I'm the lord of the beasts.
Oh my god, it's so fun. So I'm trying to see where he
Oh my god, he's my
had repeated
hero.
he had repeated run-ins with the law and his neighbors. So he had neighbors. He lived in Columbus.
Oh fuck.
So I mean, uh, so since 2004, there had been complaints about his animals sneaking onto and escaping onto, weird writing, neighbors' property. He'd been charged over the years with animal cruelty and animal neglect, allowing not allowing animals to roam. Okay. Uh, yeah, he'd
He
gotten
just got like 50 lemurs and then just forgot about them. Like
well, I think so. He got out of federal prison just uh wait. I don't uh, I'm just skimming the fuck out of this, but I don't know if he killed himself. No,
oh
yeah. Okay.
shit,
No,
he's
it
still
says that.
alive.
Never mind. Never mind. My bad.
He did kill himself?
Yeah, that's like the first thing it says. It's owner
Oh.
kills self, sets wild animals free.
I
Oh,
wonder if he
moron.
I wonder if he had it like a timing belt or something like plugged in, like a Fitbit plugged in, being like once his heart rate drops 0, all the locks unlock or something like that would be
That
rad.
that'd
Like
be the way to
that
do
would
it, dude.
make it like more like a supervillain.
Yeah, I want this movie because I think it'd be pretty badass. Have you seen the trailer to the movie Love and Monsters? I think it is.
No, I have not.
Okay, so it looks like. Have you played The Last of Us?
I'm aware of it. I haven't played it. I've seen someone play it before. It's
Okay,
like a zombie drama.
yeah. It looks like that, like really cool, overgrown, futuristic monsters kind of took over somehow.
Hmm.
Um, that's pretty much it. It looks really good. I saw it when I was at Mr. Video,
Hmm.
Mr. Video and Games right here. Hello, commercial. Um, so I was there and the guy was like talking to somebody about how he organizes the store, and he's like, "Yeah, I like to organize it by, I got my own method." And he organizes his movies based on, depending on what genre. If it's like drama, it's by director. If it's comedy, it's by actor. So like there's a Jim Carrey section, which I guess
Oh,
it kind of makes
well,
sense. Yeah. So
yeah,
that's I
like
just got
that.
I just got the Truman Show. Had never really watched that, but it was filmed.
Oh man, my dad took me to that when I was like 10, and I was not ready for that movie. That movie
That'll
blew
kind
my
of
fucking brain
Yeah,
open.
it'll kind of fuck with you too. Like
I thought I was being filmed. I literally started thinking
yeah,
I was already kind of a paranoid, like suggestible kid. Like,
yeah. That's like after I saw The Matrix, I was trying to look for glitches in the system all the time. Like,
you can find
there-
them. They're there.
yeah, it's fucked up.
It's true though.
Um,
They really are.
but yeah, so I was he organizes his whole store that way, and then I was like,
Way to do it.
I noticed you said I organize the store that way. Are you the titular Mr. Video? And he goes, I am Mr. Video. And it was just cool that the guy who like owns the place and talks about organizing it was working there. And yeah, it was just really nice to. He had been to Cap City before. He knows about the comedy scene in Salem. He's friends with Glenn Langhorst, who is a German comedian who's come through Oregon a couple times, and he
Oh, cool.
does yeah, he does comedy in three different languages. I'm not sure what the third one is.
Oh, damn.
I don't know. What's what's the other one? What's that?
The
What's the
other
third
one,
language?
French,
Maybe it's French.
French, English, and German. Most Germans speak French, English, and German.
Okay. Yeah,
I
that's
think
what
I think that's true. I don't know if that's a for sure fact, but from what I've been told, a lot of them are like trilingual.
nice.
Yeah, they're
Um,
super fucking smart, man.
fucking Germans, man.
Well,
Keeping
some
their
of them.
brain
I
is
mean, they
and
have a way better education system than we do.
is it? I
I,
wonder if it's because they get like their hands smacked with rulers and shit.
I don't know. Maybe, yeah, maybe they have no laughter. It's what I've been told.
Yeah, no laughter and no blood.
I can say
Bru-
that because I'm mostly German.
I don't know what I am. I know I'm really Irish, but that's the only thing I know about.
I'm like a mix of a bunch of shit, but it's like a big portion of it is German and Norwegian. I don't care. I really like. I just know that I'm not. I just know that I don't have anything interesting in my background. I got like just a bunch of like. It's just a bunch of Viking shit. It's a bunch of ancient Scandinavian pirates mixed with Irish and.
God, okay. So there was one time we were just shooting like bow and arrow in the backyard, and Jeff Parks
Mhm.
comes over, and he's like, I don't really know what I'm doing with this stupid thing, and so he picks up the bow, and I think it's on his Instagram or my Instagram or whatever, something, and so you can see Jeff Holt like he pulls this bow back, and the way he's doing it looks so just right. It's so weird because he's like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know what I'm doing. And then there's just such a like in his DNA about it. It's just like it
You
looks
just
like
have
he's yeah. No, there really is there's something about that. They're like, no, you're somebody in your family's done this.
I was actually pretty good at bow and arrow as well. I think it's just a fat guy thing.
Okay. Okay.
No, I don't know. Oh,
It's a strong shoulder thing.
yeah, it's just no. I used to do archery at Renaissance festivals, and I was actually pretty good. Sorry, my car is full of smoke, and my head is
Oh
too.
no, that's fine.
No, I really got into it because of the Legend of Zelda.
Oh wow.
I was playing Ocarina of Time, and then we had like a big yard, and I used to be able to just shoot the arrow at like an arc, and it would land on like the other side of the yard, and just I'd pick it up and then shoot it again, and I was just playing around with it, and then I had targets.
That's the saddest story ever.
Yeah, it's only child in Florida.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty sad.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much the same thing with me. My sister's 6 years older than me, so it was just we never really hung out or anything. So yeah, I had a bow and arrow in Florida and like neighbor's window a couple of times. But yeah, there was just me by myself in a cardboard box under the trampoline a lot. That was kind of my jam.
In a cardboard box under the trampoline?
Yeah, there's just more of a like I'm in a thing. It's more of a fort. Yeah, I don't know. I just Florida's a weird place. It gets you weird.
No, I've definitely done stuff like that. I'm sure I used to in the trailer I was raised in. We had the air conditioning vents on the floor. You know those?
Yeah.
Have you seen those before? So I would get a blanket in the summer and just like hold it down and just have like a little air condition fort. Like I used to do that a lot, and then put like couch pillows around it to kind of structure it.
Nice.
Yeah, I've done a lot of dumb. I did it this summer with a fan. I just had the fan taped to a not the fitted sheet, but the other sheet, and then I just was underneath that getting all the air. That was pretty nice.
And then you spark up a blunt and hotbox it in there, and then everything's good.
Oh yeah, dude, that's how you gotta do it.
Hell yeah. All right. This has been a good episode. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And yeah, nice talking to you, Kyle. And I'll talk to you next time.
All right, man. Sounds good.
And we'll see everybody next time on Must Be Nice with Kyle Adams and Chad Johnson.